Hello and welcome to the in-depth series of Drishti IAS. Jallikattu is set to commence from January 15th onwards. It is quite a controversial sport, but we have to look at both the sides of the story before we reach to any conclusion. Now, if I have to tell you from which perspective we have to look at this segment, prelims is there, and also from the perspective of GS means paper 1 and 2, from cultural perspective, political and social perspective as well, okay? So let us begin with the various topics that we are going to get concerned with over here. What is Jallikattu? The history, Jallikattu 2023, the significance, concerns, what is the legal outlook, along with what are the arguments in favor for this sport and the against, and also other similar sports, if any, in India. So let us move ahead with the first one, that what is Jallikattu? Jallikattu is a traditional sport and it belongs to Tamil Nadu. It encompasses releasing a wild bull into a crowd of people. Here, the people attempt to ride the bull for as long as possible or take it under their control, okay? And this generally happens during the month of January, and that is especially during the harvest festival, Pongal. Alright, moving ahead, let's know about the history of it. It is a traditional sport. It traces back to even the Harappan times. Let us see how. Ancient reference to bull taming is found in a seal discovered at Mohenjo-daro. Now, Mohenjo-daro was in the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent, but still the echoes can be traced back to here. And this civilization dates back to 2500 BC to 1800 BC. The sport was called 𝐸𝐻𝐒 or embracing the bull. And it is also known, the term Jallikattu comes from the word Jallikattu. Okay, so Jallikattu is basically providing it means, suppose there are horns of the bull in which there is a pouch. This pouch contains silver coins. So whoever the person is there who will be able to tame the bull gets the silver pouch as the gift or the reward. Now in 2017, massive popular protests started that asked for the banning of the sport from the center, and the Supreme Court also got involved in that. In Silapatikaram also, this particular sport has been mentioned, and it is historical sport from Tamil classic age. Also, it is known as Yeruthazu Vuthal, Madu Pidithal and Pollerudhu Pidithal. Okay, these are the other names as well. Dravidian literature contains numerous references to it, and Tamil Nadu residents have celebrated it for many centuries. So, it's an archaic festival. Okay. Moving ahead, now let's talk about the cow varieties that are used in this particular these episodes. So, Umbalachari, Bargar, Pullikulam, Kandayam and Malai Madu. So, if it is asked in your prelims examination, be very mindful of these names. And this particular is, these particular breeds of cow are very important they are to be conserved. So, whoever is going to possess these kind of cows, high regard for exceptional breeders of these animals is there for them. A man in command of bull is said to be depicted in cave art dating back to 2500 years. So you see how it goes back. Now Jallikattu 2023 will happen between January 15th to 17th in Madurai of Tamil Nadu, and the festival is celebrated prominently in 3 villages: Avaniyapuram, Palamedu and Alanganallur. Okay, and about 4,500 bull owners and 200 bull tamers have been registered to participate here, and then shortlist will also be provided for. Now, if we talk about the significance, the government says that it is a very intrinsic part of the Tamil culture, and this is basically a practice for the peasants to save the indigenous breed of cows. See what has happened. Because of artificial insemination, what has happened? The usage of bull is just for agricultural practices only. So, in order to save these indigenous breeds, it is important that we continue their involvement in such practices. This is what the Tamil Nadu government is saying. Jallikattu provides peasants and farmers with an opportunity to preserve the indigenous breed of bulls. Alright. Then concerns that are associated with it is, first of all, the level of cruelty that is practiced in that entire, in this entire sport. First that. See, the question by and large is that whether Jallikattu should be granted constitutional protection as a collective cultural right under Article 29 Clause 1. In here, have a right to have their own educational and cultural rights. That means they can protect their own cultural and educational rights. So it's a cultural right for the Tamil people. Okay. If the laws perpetuate cruelty to animals or were actually a means to ensure the survival and well-being of the native breed of bulls, this is the other question. That means this is just to show cruelty to the animals, or actually if any result is coming out of this entire practice to save the bulls, the breed of bulls. Alright. And another question is, how is it relatable to Article 48 of the Constitution? Article 48 of the Constitution is a DPSP, Directive Principle of State Policy, which asks the state to organize agriculture and animal husbandry on modern and scientific lines. Moving ahead, now legal outlook is such that in 2011, Centre added bulls to the list of animals whose training and exhibition is prohibited. And the Supreme Court banned Jallikattu through a judgment in May 2014 on the grounds of cruelty in the case Animal Welfare Board of India versus A. Nagaraja case. And in 2018, this particular case was referred by the Supreme Court to a constitutional bench where it is pending as of now. Moving ahead, if we talk about the laws which are important over here, prevention, the bone of contention basically, the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, Tamil Nadu Act of 2007 and Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, Conduct of Jallikattu Rules of 2007. These two contentious laws reopened the gate for the conduct of the popular bull sport, which was banned earlier by the Supreme Court in 2014. Moving ahead, there are certain arguments in favor of conducting this sport. First, it is a religious and cultural event. People find oneness with each other through this sport because it goes beyond the confines of caste and creed. First that. It also, is something that is hostile to culture. If we are going to ban Jallikattu, it is hostile to culture and against the sensitivities of the community which they manifest through these kind of sports. Also, in order to conserve the precious indigenous breeds, it is important that we use them in such kind of sports according to the Tamil Nadu government. This particular sport doesn't violate the principles of compassion and humanity, and its intertwining with the socio-cultural milieu was being taught in high school curriculum so that the future generations can know about the significance of this sport. This is arguments in favor. Let's go against. See, according to the petition that was filed in the Supreme Court against this particular sport, it was said that animal life was inextricably connected to the lives of humans. That is totally correct. Every species in this world is interconnected and not independent. Okay, so liberty was inherent in every living being, even if it is an animal. And deaths and injuries have been caused during this sport, both to humans and the creatures, bulls. And extreme cruelty was inflicted on the animals in many cases throughout the sport. There was no material, evidence to justify that Jallikattu is a part of culture. How are we going to define it as a part of culture or not? Okay, there are also certain other sports such as Kambala that the Karnataka government has saved from ban. Otherwise, in Andhra Pradesh, Punjab and Maharashtra, there were certain sports which were banned due to the 2014 ban of the Supreme Court. So let's see if we have other sports like these. Kambala is buffalo racing of Karnataka. Buffaloes race in a paddy field filled with slush and mud. First that. Bulbul fighting from Assam. It is organized on Magh Bihu Day. Bulbuls fed concoction of intoxicating substances to make them aggressive. They also have rights. They do not want to be involved in a fight. And we intoxicate them and do that for our entertainment purposes. That's not correct. Cockfighting, it's from Andhra Pradesh. It is a mega sport during Sankranti. Stakes run into hundreds of crores of rupees. So people are so, intertwined with this particular sport. Blade is often tied to the bird's limb to chop off the rival. Then we have bullock cart racing in Maharashtra. This is an entertainment sport in rural areas. So let us move ahead and talk about those who have answered the last question correctly. B was the correct answer. Best India Life, Koel, Damanpreet Kaur, Aarti, Sumitra, Daksha, Alka, Sachin, Parul, Bhargavi, Aman, Anuj, Tushita, then Ganesh, Vaibhav Pawar, आसान है, उत्कर्ष सिंह, Saurav Gupta, Rupal, Divyanshu, Archana, Swarnaprava, Vinny Prasad, Sarita, Simran. Thank you so much, Simran. Devendra, Sagarika, Saurabh, Akhil, and Jyoti. Thank you so much for answering the last question. You should answer this question as well, and I will take your names in the upcoming segment. Thank you so much.